Here's something for your consideration. Don't quit YouTube. You know, to those folks out there that are on the fence, to things that have changed, to people, that have, lost out on monetization or whatever the case may be. I encourage folks, not to quit. And here's why. I would say that, don't quit YouTube. And for you folks that have not reached the level, for you folks that have not, ascended, or, your ship has come, or your kingdom or whatever you're looking for, I encourage you not to quit YouTube because you have to understand the opportunity. I think there's too many people that don't understand the opportunity here. Regardless if you make any money, what's going on, Noble Girl Gamer, Raven Loves Wax and Dubs? Appreciate you. I encourage people who are small YouTubers, who are on the cusp, who are right there. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't just take down your channels or whatever. Unless this is something that you find that's not for you, then by all means do what you have to do. If you feel like it's too much of a strain, or it's like if Drone Worship said, if this is not fun to you anymore, then I get it. Then go your way. But sometimes too many people make this just about the money, or just about somebody else's success. Sometimes we compare ourselves to people, and put ourselves in these unrealistic settings and whatnot, and I have our feelings and emotions and whatnot, and say maybe it's a waste of time, but the success comes, to those that that just choose to allow themselves to burn out. Quitting isn't the solution. Yes, yeah, Noble Girl Gamer, it's an option. It's an option to quit. I'm not gonna tell anybody they can't quit. I'm saying don't quit, because a lot of times people quit because they don't understand the opportunity that this YouTube thing provides. Taking a break is fine, but never quit it. Yeah, don't give up. And don't get me wrong. There is a time to walk away. What's up, JoJo Walker Unplugged? Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it. There's a time to walk away from YouTube. There's a time to hang it up. But don't hang it up before it's your time. Don't hang it up just because things have changed. Don't quit YouTube because of, demonetization or copyright strikes, or, you know, um, I don't know, people getting the channels taken, demonetization, whatever host of reasons. The PG, nature of YouTube. Don't just walk away because of that. Understand the opportunity. Do like No Filter Nina. If you got to do the PG stuff on YouTube and you want to go on Instagram and get raunchy and raw, then that's something you can you can work with. But if you have an audience here, or if you're building up something, or you put content out, if you put the work into this thing, if this means something to you, you know what I'm saying? Don't just walk away from it. I mean, if this means something to you, there will be something or someone trying to stop you, got to do you. Yeah, JoJo Walker. I mean, listen, I get people get discouraged, but if 6 months ago, or 5 months ago, or 5 days ago, this is something that meant something to you, take a break, reconsider. I mean, even, before I left Twitter, when I left Twitter, the reason I left Twitter is not because I wasn't getting the push or the pull. I had to figure out what the purpose was for it, before I left. If this doesn't make sense to you on YouTube, then I understand. But I encourage people not to quit YouTube before understanding the opportunity. Understand the opportunity. Understand the ways to make money. Understand that if you never make a dime, there's an advantage to being on this platform, and it does get you notoriety. It does understand and teach you how to put together content. So when you move on from YouTube for the final time, to wherever you're going to go, you understand and you learn different skills. Go to the Creator Academy, just take time out to see all the free resources. Look at other creators and how they've succeeded. Look at your audience, talk to your audience, really just take time out to understand the opportunity, because here on YouTube, it's a social media platform like no other. It is a situation where you can actually interact with people directly, where you can learn and grow and collaborate and do so many other things. What's going on? I see you. Tell you to don't be quitting us for speaking out. Yeah, nah. I agree with you on that, Yas Poet. Yeah, click. Totally agree, man. I'm here because of I enjoy making my little movies. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Click. I appreciate it. YouTube is a business, and even if you're not monetized, you can make income and sell your stuff if you need to. Yes, JoJo Walker. I'm glad somebody is put that out there. I've been saying that for the longest. I tell anybody. What's up, Deadhead? I think adult drama draws more people away from YouTube than any YouTube rules. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Deadhead, as well. But the thing that I tell people, hey, what's up, Drive Shaft Drew? Thank you. The thing I tell people, about not quitting YouTube is understand the opportunity. Too many people don't understand the opportunities that still exist here on YouTube. If you have a product, if you have a service, if you have a website, if you have something that you want to promote, a social cause, whatever it may be, you can still promote it on YouTube. You just have to understand the business side of it, how to parlay it, how to put it together, how to do all that other particular stuff that you can do, outside of YouTube or just, independently of getting the AdSense revenue. Even the AdSense revenue from the top YouTubers only yield a couple of $100,000 a year. Even somebody like PewDiePie is only getting a couple of $100,000 a year. And that's him with not billions, with millions of followers and billions of views. So you have sponsorships, you have products and services that you can sell. It's just about being, professional with how you present yourself and understanding the business and learning the production side of it, learning the marketing and promotion, learning how to engage with the audience. And that doesn't always come in the way that it comes for everybody else. Another person's success is not my success. Somebody like the people that are on this chat, like my success isn't the same success that somebody like a Drive Shaft Drew will have, or Click, or JoJo Walker, or Deadhead. Everybody succeeds in their own way. The thing is, sadly, in this world, certain things sell, so to speak. You need to find the fit your niche and how to make it work. The drive and hard work. Yeah, no, definitely JoJo Walker. I agree with you. You have a situation where you have to learn what works for you. You have to network and push it hard and go after it. But that's if it means something to you. A lot of times it may not mean anything to folks, or you find out how much it means to somebody when they face obstacles and stuff like that. This is just me, my attempt, my cry out for those people who are on the fence. If you are not thinking about quitting YouTube and you doing fine, then this message doesn't apply to you. This isn't for you. This is for those people that are discouraged. This is for those people that, may have had subs and lost subs and stuff like that. In the last year, so many channels have been deleted. Yeah, Deadhead, it happens. But the question is, where do you want to be with this thing? Do you see the opportunity? Thanks, Click. Do you understand the potential? My thing is this. I'll stay on this channel until a couple of things happen, until it no longer makes sense, it's no longer fun to me, YouTube deletes my channel, or, the site goes under, or it changes to the point where I can't do what I do. But the question is, what have you learned from all of this, from being on YouTube? What can you take away? If your channel was deleted and taken away tomorrow, what have you learned from this experience? What have you learned that can push you as a content creator, as a business person, as just a creative type, as somebody who's just a human being? What have you learned from this experience? That's why I tell people, don't just quit YouTube. Now, I understand other social media sites and networks, or whatever the case may be, they do their thing. But on YouTube, you have a unique situation where, just from my standpoint alone, I've met people from 4 or 5 different continents. What's going on, June Gar? Appreciate you. YouTube is educational and fun for me. I believe it brings people from all around the world close together. Yes, Deadhead. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just early this morning, I was on the live stream with people from like 2 or 3 different continents. Like even right now, I'm speaking to people from different continents, different time zones, different ethnic backgrounds, different religions, different sexual orientations, different ideas. It's a sharing and combining of different things. It's a melting pot in a lot of ways. You learn so much from so many people. And when I see people walking away before actually understanding the opportunity that this provides to you, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to teach, to be inspired. It's an opportunity to come away from this something and be enriched, by the experience that comes from this whole YouTube experience and whatnot. And I think so many people miss that before they walk away. YouTube has that unique experience. Now, I think things got a little murky when they started to add the monetary value, that component to it. That's when it became something different. But at the same time, don't be discouraged, by the fact that they took the AdSense away, or people have been demonetized, or it's more PG, or it's this, or it's that. Whatever the case may be, the question is, why are you here? What can you learn from it? Did you learn anything from it? Are you here to learn? Regardless of whether or not you get paid from this situation or not, regardless of whether or not you want to be monetized or not, whatever. The question is, have you learned anything from being on YouTube? Have you experienced anything? And what about the energy? Are you one of those people that, has learned from, the different things that goes on? Or are you the person just putting the drama out there? What's going on, Rolling Homestead and Wild Endless Edibles in why? Thank you. Appreciate that. W I we Y. It's all good. But like I'm saying, this is for those folks that are on the fence. This is for those folks that are discouraged. And don't get me wrong. I know, what it's like to be discouraged. I know what it's like to say I want to quit. I know what it's like to say, the heck with this. I'm putting out Wisconsin. There you go. There you go. I was like, why? Wi-Fi, Wisconsin, whatever, from Wisconsin. Okay. Forgive me. My etiquette. Be right back. It's okay. Jojo, appreciate you. I'm saying this for those folks out there that, thinking about walking away, that have walked away, but still have a channel. Listen, there's still opportunities for you to learn, for you to grow, to get your content together, to just experience and explore different things. Sometimes you may need to take a break. It may be time for me to take a break. Who knows? At one point, I may have to step away. I have been on the fence as well at times. Anyone can get frustrated. There's nothing wrong with that click about getting frustrated. But the question is, I'll say before you walk away, I'll ask anybody, before you walk away, before you quit YouTube, I'll say this: have you learned everything that you need to learn? Have you experienced and explored every option, every viable option that's worth exploring before you walk away? For me personally, I could say no, but I'm not you. Everybody has a different experience when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to any social media platform. Cheers, Tim S. minus the 420, but I know who you are. It's all good. My thing is, explore the opportunities that are still here. Look at the options. And let's be realistic. Any of us that have been on YouTube, 2013 and before, we was already on here demonetized anyway. A lot of us was already on here for free. So it says a lot about us if you come on here 2013 and below and you weren't monetized, then you get a chance to get monetized, then you get demonetized, then you get discouraged and you leave. So then what was it about from the beginning? Was it really about the love? Was it about the money? Did things change? Did you say, okay, that's that? Like, don't get me wrong. I want to get paid just as anybody else. I want to get it. I want to go after it just as anybody else. You just need to keep working and you will get there. Yes, but it's not just about working and not doing quality work. It's almost like they said when you're practicing, a jump shot or you're practicing on your craft. You want to have quality work. You want to have quality practice. Like one of the things that I do sometimes and things that I have done behind the scenes is you can work on your videos and store it on your computer or hard drive. And this is stuff that nobody has to see. You can have personal files and stuff like that and say, okay, well, maybe I could edit myself and critique myself or show it to family and friends, never giving, no matter what it is. Yeah. I agree with you, June Gore, but it's challenging, let me see. Sorry about that. I don't want to get that. You won't get rich on YouTube, but it's not. But see, here's the thing, Rolling Homestead and Wild Edibles. It's not about getting rich on YouTube. That's what people have to understand. Even when you see the success of the biggest YouTubers, a lot of the times it's attached to other things that they've done with the business model, setting up a corporation, getting a business manager, understanding how to interact with that audience. Because the reality is this: if you get 100,000 or 200,000 or 1 million or 3 million subscribers on YouTube, it's not YouTube's responsibility to make sure you make millions of dollars. It's about how you are able to parlay about that, all about affiliation and partnerships. But that's something with that comes with that too, Click. But see, one of the things we fail to realize is that you have to take time out to learn what do you do when you reach that level. How do you get that? How do you grab for that brass ring? How do you go after those 100,000 or 100 million or 50-something million subscribers? See, the thing people don't understand is that it's possible. It's possible for any one of us, even if it's not here on YouTube. It's possible for you to get the success of a PewDiePie, but the question is, are you willing to put in that work? Are you willing to study PewDiePie and people like that to go and go after it? You may lose your mind. You may go crazy. You may take a break. It may be something that, you say, hey, what the hell is this? But the reality is that these things are possible and they happen. And, a lot of times it's just about who wants it more. YouTube is the platform that made you known and profitable. Yeah, listen. It's so many people that have had opportunities on here who haven't become rich and famous, but were able to become profitable, were able to, bring business, were able to, step away from their regular job and substitute and supplement their income or whatever the case may be. Retirees or people that are disabled or folks that just looking for hobbies or people that, suffer from PTSD or whatever the case may be, people that have, traumatic situations that they've been through, or folks that just have been tired and frustrated with their jobs. So it's an opportunity, but there are people who will also parlay this situation and say, okay, I'll build an infrastructure and a website outside of this. A lot of things that people don't understand, which is, hey, what's up, CR? A lot of things people don't understand, which is something that YouTube is great at, which people don't get into, is promotion. How do you promote yourself? All right, after you learn how to put the videos and stuff together, after you learn how to engage with the audience, do you know how to promote your stuff outside of YouTube? I tell people that all the time. It really does come down to that. I myself need to get more into the promotion and understanding, promoting, and spreading of ideas and, networking, like JoJo Walker was saying in here. Let me get back to that comment that you were saying, Click. I'm a vet in an army and used to serve. Anyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. So people want to get famous and rich, but not put in the work. Yes, I agree with that, Click, and thank you for the service that you gave to the country. We appreciate you for that. But it's true that especially that last part, is that a lot of people want to be rich and famous, but they don't want to put in the work. And it's almost like a Kevin Hart saying, everybody want to be rich and famous, but nobody want to put in the work. And for some of those that want to put in the work, that's what it is. Besides that, appreciate you for being here. I'm just talking about those folks that want to quit YouTube or on the edge that are thinking about it. I'm saying don't quit. Don't quit before you weigh all your options. Don't walk away from this thing just because things have changed. Listen, I'm just like you. I'm about to get paid. I was about to get paid. I'm not even making this up. I could screenshot my stats. I still have over $110 that they were supposed to send me. They sent me the AdSense revenue password and everything. And then the next month, demonetization. That hurt because I put in work. I put in work for 2017, 2016. And then come to find out, in order for me to get monetized, I got to put even more work. And you can see my work. You can go through my playlist from my January, my February, my April, my May, and then even into June. I'm putting in work, doing live streams on every day or every other day. So yeah, besides that. So it happens. But the question is, what does this mean to you? Can you learn something from it? Can you capitalize on the opportunities? Can you make your way through the obstacles? Me personally, I'm better for the opportunity here on YouTube and the things and the people that I've got to meet and the things that I got to learn here. It hasn't made me a worse person. I've learned a lot and haven't been paid a dime. Even though people's donated to Super Chat and done different things for me, which I appreciate and I'm grateful for, it's a situation where you say, okay, what are the other things that I need to know about it? I've become an immensely better content creator, an editor, somebody who can start looking at things. It's opened up my mind and my space to, possibilities that are beyond here. What's up, Crimson Fantasy? I appreciate you. I've had people personally come up to me because of things that I've done on YouTube and ask me to edit their videos. Because of the things that I've done. I haven't edited a video in a while, I do vlogs here and there, and people come to you and say, hey, could you edit a video for me? Or would you be able to shoot this for me? Or would you be able to do that for me? It puts you in a space where you can network and you can do things creatively off of YouTube. But people don't appreciate where you became famous or where you became known. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Crimson Fantasy. Yeah, have a great evening, Yas Poet. I appreciate you. But people are just looking at the money side of it, just from the AdSense revenue, and that's just one small piece. If you talk to anybody on this platform who has success, on a high level, speak to some of them. I've spoken to some of them, like somebody like Evan Carmichael, and they'll tell you what's going on, Vlog from the Blog. I appreciate you. That the AdSense revenue is just one small piece of it. I went through the same thing. I'm gonna monetize, then demonetize because I was sub short. Yeah, and it happens like that. We all went through it. But my thing is, I don't want people to walk away from this and be discouraged without weighing all their options. I don't want people to think that it's over just because things have changed. Now, don't get me wrong, it's annoying, dealing with a YouTube now that's more PG than it's ever been. But there's still more opportunities than there's ever been. There's still a situation where you can go from being in your home, in your bedroom, in your garage, living with your mother, living with a baby mama or a significant other, or sleeping around with a mistress and be doing videos. And next thing you know, you got an audience, and then you keep going, and then you got a bigger audience, and then you grow. I've learned so much, and I have so much more to learn. I have so much more to share. And don't get me wrong, there's a work-life balance. There's responsibilities we have. There's health issues that come. There's different things that transpire that stop us from really pushing it. Some people take breaks. My personal thing to anybody that wants to quit, I would say take a break first. Consider it. Do some deliberation. Deliberate. You know, yeah, mistresses hate you too. Don't they get attention? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I threw that in as a joke, but the reality is there's some people that would rather you be on the phone or be jonesing with them than making videos. And I know this personally. So we ain't gonna get into that just in case that person or anybody else is watching. I don't want to take a shot, but I kind of did. Blah. But anyway, yeah, nah, for real, let me not get too sidetracked. The thing is that we have so many things going on. One step at a time, we all have to get there. You know what I'm talking about, Crimson Fantasy, but we're gonna leave that alone. Like I said, I don't want to start no trouble. I'm not trying to make this I'm not trying to make this a drama live stream. Anyway, shout out to the mistresses and the side pieces out there, whoever you may be, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, back to what I was saying, the matter I had, you know. yeah. We gotta leave it alone. We gotta leave it alone for the PG audience, for the sake of less drama. But let me get back serious again, you know, because you know, no side pieces or mistresses were hurt during this conversation. Anyway, so like I was saying, yeah, you know, don't quit, don't give up, because there's so much opportunity here. I remember even Dark Matter was saying that. I tend to support. Oh, yeah, I appreciate. I'm not as intelligent, as articulate as I would like to be. You should see me after I have a few drinks, but that's another story. Thank you, though. I appreciate that size. That what I'm trying to say to folks, that everybody here on this platform is needed. Everybody is relevant, even the drama channels, even the hate channels. For some reason, everybody plays their part. Everybody has something that they can teach or they can learn from. Thank you, Crimson Fantasy. I always get, you know, good bars from your rap videos and whatnot. You know, if I want to see a fire verse or something like that, I gotta go to Crimson Fantasy, gotta click on there, you know. But also, all of you are great creators, and I would hate for any one of you to just get discouraged without weighing your options. Don't get me wrong. If you're gonna quit YouTube, if you're really gonna go your way and you're gonna delete your channel, or, you know, shut everything down, weigh your options, deliberate, see if you've learned everything that you needed to learn. If you're on this platform and you felt like, or you've really sat down and looked at your body of work and you feel like you can go no further with this, or you say it's not worth your time, or it's a situation you should step back from, then hey, you know, by all means, do what you got to do. But however, I say consider this. If you have not reached that plateau, if you have not reached the conclusion or end of your journey with this thing, don't quit. You know, don't just give up. Don't quit YouTube. Don't, you know, abandon your channel or leave it alone. If you got to take a break, take a break. Take a break. Do what you have to do. What's up, Sherry K? Let's go Cavs. You know, it's all good. But anyway, I think they're going to lose that series. You know, thank you for coming through, though. Tell Boston, don't quit. Nah, but seriously, you know, like I said, everybody, I'm saying this to any and everybody on this platform who are small YouTube creators, anybody who's ever been discouraged, anybody who ever felt like, well, maybe I'm not getting a couple of you know, like a couple of hundred views, or I'm not getting the views that I should get, or I'm not getting the subscribers that I should get, you know, thank you, Size Dad. I appreciate that. We all go through struggles. If you want to hear about mistresses, you have to call free phone number. It must be for over 18. That's funny. You know what's funny about that vlog from the vlog? I actually used to own a 900 number. It was the psychic line, but that's another story. That's a whole long time ago. Nobody would expect that from Mel. So it's kind of funny that you say that. Go Boston. Yeah, sure. Go Boston. You can go to Boston. It's a great place to visit. You know, they're going to go fishing soon. So don't worry about that, Sherry K. They're going to go fishing soon. You know, the series is going to be over quick. You know, Braun and I'm going to wrap that up. You know, it's going on long enough. Cut the malarkey. You know, but back to, you know, the matter at hand. I just say, you know, when you look at your own content, when you look at your channel, even if you don't put out any content, look at the opportunities and say to yourself, maybe it's something you want to try. Maybe you enjoy supporting or being a part of the community, talking to people from different avenues, or different places in the world. I say enjoy YouTube and the way it is and the opportunity we have for now in this particular moment in time, because it's no guarantee that 10, 20 years from now that we'll have these same opportunities that we have online, especially with the whole net neutrality conversation, especially with people trying to have a two-tier system with the internet and slowing down speeds and trying to make people pay more for the same access that we have. Imagine you doing the same thing that you're doing now, and then you have to pay on top of that, yeah, you be walking around confident. That's funny, Sherry K. But I will let you have that one, Sherry K. I will let you have that one. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good to you. Well, we'll see what happens when the series is over, and they're back in Boston. Yeah, Caesar, what's going on with you? But like I said, I tell folks, man, it's just so many opportunities out there. It's so many people you can network with. It's so many things you have to do. Just set a goal and don't quit. Yeah, Drop Shaft Drew. And I agree with that. And here's the thing. Somebody else's success shouldn't determine whether or not you will or will not. So if okay, Caesar, okay, I won't show my feet again. Unless somebody cuts me a check. If somebody cuts me a check, then I have to show my feet again. What's going on, Karen? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Yeah, but I agree with Drop Shaft Drew. Set a goal, figure out what it is that you want to do. I'm pretty sure I'm creating content and won't stop. Creation mode. There you go. Nah, there's nothing wrong with that. But see, too many people get discouraged and they don't look at the tools that they have around them. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you for being here. And, like I said, spread the word to anybody out there that may be discouraged. Look at your channel, look at the possibilities, look at the options that you have with the content that you create or you're not creating. Sometimes I may need to vlog a little bit more. Sometimes I may need to do more cooking videos. Sometimes I may need to get outside. Sometimes I may need to collaborate with other people. Sometimes I may need to be on somebody's live stream. I may need to get up 5 in the morning and go hit my UK people up. Shout out to Eagle VP, Vlog from the Bog, Crimson Fantasy over there in Canada, Drop Shaft Drew, a couple other people I haven't seen in a while. But the thing is, there's so many opportunities to be exposed to a different audience. There's so many opportunities to go out there and see a diverse crowd of people and to learn. I've learned from people. I've learned from watching the Crimson Fantasies, the Drop Shaft Drews, the Detox Divas, the 420 community, the Tim S420, the Deadheads, the Yas Poets of the world. I've learned from seeing, all types of folks, the Cab Sevens, the Dark Matters, the 805 Road Kings, the Granny Monsters of the world. I've learned from just speaking and interacting with different people who may not look and always sound and come from the same backgrounds as me. I've seen transgender communities, I've seen the religious community, I've seen the homesteaders, the preppers, I've seen the tech communities, the gamers. Like I said, you learn so much. You see that as a bigger world. It's bigger than your channel. What you do on YouTube is so much bigger than your channel. But at the same time, it's not what it is if your channel is not there. If you don't have, your voice being heard, your voice, it matters. It's important. But a lot of people don't understand that. They downplay their relevance. Listen, I don't care if I don't have 10,000 views or 20,000 views. I don't care, because at the end of the day, that don't make or break me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my audience is my audience. My impact is my impact. I'll grow over time. I'll get it. I appreciate all the folks out there that say, hey, Mel, your audience should be bigger than what it is. Listen, it'll get there when it get there. I just have to survive. It's like one of the old timers told me. He says, when you have a date with destiny, life requires only one thing of you, and only one thing is that you survive. And I tell people out there on this YouTube journey, it only requires one thing of you if you're going to be on this platform. One thing for all you small YouTubers, for all you people discouraged, for all you people thinking that you don't matter. And I mean this. This is no BS. I almost cursed. This is no BS. Everything comes in its own time. Like Karen said, this is his own time. And you said it, Drew, is that you be yourself, you survive. You survive the ups and downs. It's almost like the stock market. If you invest in money in the stock market, you understand the ups, the downs, the 52-week average, the moving, the moving ratios and stuff like that. You understand that sometimes you have to adapt, you have to change, grow, open your mind. This is what it is, size that, but it's real. It's real. It only requires one thing. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're skinny, if you're fat, if you're blind, if you're crippled, if you're crazy. It only requires one thing for you. It's to pay attention, keep your mind open, and survive. Survive to the next day. Understand where you went wrong, regroup, come back, do all that stuff. Don't knock yourself out. You can't win if you give up. Those who fail to do, only say, what is the saying? They says those who fail are those the ones that fail to try. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, whatever it is, however silly your videos are, however the lighting is, however the audio is, however bad somebody else thinks it is, fine. So what? So what? If you ain't as popular, if you ain't as sexy, if you ain't as cute, listen, I don't look as good. I ain't the funniest. I ain't the smartest. Yeah, nothing beats a failure but a try. There you go. And a lot of times in this generation, a lot of people are afraid to fall flat. A lot of people are afraid to look crazy. I mean, in the beginning, they said I looked crazy. They said I was stupid. They said I was wasting my time. I had people who personally knew me who said I was wasting my time doing this. I had people who were saying that, you know what, you're a fool, you're stupid, you're talking to yourself. I had people that were related to me saying that. And now I'm not nowhere near, any heights or nothing like that. But when I hit the 1,000 subscribers and they start looking at the watch time, now all of a sudden you start backing up and saying, oh, whoa, wait, what's going on? And you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you're doing. Have to remember what you're saying. It's like I was saying in a couple of live streams ago, hold fast to your vision. Understand your purpose. Understand why you're here. When you know why you're doing what you do on here, that changes everything, Thank you. I appreciate that, Dry Shaft Drew, and all goes saying fail to prepare to fail. Yeah, there you go, vlog. I mean, this is something that I'm saying to all you. This isn't really for the watch time at all, even though I will get watch time for this. This is for you folks out there that are watching, that are discouraged, that lack confidence, that may think this is not going to go anywhere. Just John Hulk, that may be discouraged. I'm just like you, and you don't have to take my word for it. Look at my numbers. Go to my videos. See where I come from the same thing. I come from the same thing as you. I don't get the big views. I don't have the greatest audience. I'm not saying I don't have the greatest audience. Let me not say that. This is a treasure. Come on, to show you his love and support. Appreciate you. I do have a great audience, but I don't mean like great in number. I do have a great audience, not to knock that. I don't have a big audience, but at the same time, you keep going. If you're passionate about what you're doing, that's all that matters. Yes, but not just the passion, Karen, is you want to learn from the things that you need to do. You want to be open-minded. You want to adapt. You don't want to be closed-minded and narrow. You don't want to just do things the way that you've always done it. If you had success, in one video or one area or one day or one span or one season, it comes to a point where you say, you know what, that may have worked for that period of time, but it may be a time to, to grow and change and do different things. People fail because they fail to adapt. So that's something that happens with that. But yeah, definitely you got to be passionate about it. And there's days when I've done live streams, if people go back and look, some days I had the energy, some days I didn't. Some days I'm like, man, should I even be on here? Whatever. There's always room for improvement. Yes. There's always room to learn. There's always room to grow. There's always room to be challenged and challenge other people. So I challenge a lot of you out there that are discouraged. I challenge a lot of you out there with talent, with skills, with abilities, with passion, with love in your heart for this thing, to not quit. Don't quit. If this means something to you, if you feel like you got something more in you to say, and it's only for another year, it's only for another couple of months, it's only for another, few seconds or whatever. Don't quit until you've learned and done everything that you were supposed to do with this thing. Believe me, there are days when I say, you know what, maybe I could just sit around and watch some more Netflix, or maybe I could just go to the movies, or maybe I could go get me a slice of pizza, sit down and be quiet somewhere. I ain't got to be on YouTube. I ain't got to be trying to push for this thing, but this means something to me. And if it means something to you, you should push for it. Don't quit. Don't leave your channel. Let YouTube delete your channel if that's what it has to take. I have more respect for those people who pushed the envelope and got their channels deleted than, for the folks that just had it and then just walks away. Being a creator, it works. It does cry work. Mel, do you use that red button to miss your plans? Yeah. Actually, I do. I hit him with the miss in the back. You see that? I got you. I did that for you, Caesar. They just got missed it right quick. But yeah, the thing is, I don't want to lose the train of thought. The thing is that there's so many opportunities here that people miss because sometimes we have that singular focus, that narrow view and whatnot about how other folks are doing it. Because me personally, I always knew that the biggest thing on here wasn't AdSense revenue. I was always looking at the sponsorship. I was always looking at the partnerships and affiliate programs and stuff like that. And outside of it, I had people who've talked to me personally from back when Google Plus was more connected with YouTube and all that other stuff. When you got your account, from Google Plus and you had to be linked up to YouTube and vice versa or whatever the case. There was people telling me there's different ways to succeed and do your thing. Some things I paid attention to, some things I didn't. But the point is, there's so much knowledge out there. There's so much a wealth of experience to learn from for people in order to succeed, and it takes time. It takes time. There were times when I didn't believe, and I mean this, I didn't believe that I would be able to hold anybody's attention on a video, let alone a live stream, to have something to say. It's not easy. It's not easy to talk to somebody on a live stream. It's not easy to try to edit videos and put engaging stuff and get people's attention. Sometimes you really go crazy, or sometimes you really put in a lot of that work and it can get frustrating. It can be discouraging. It can be demoralizing at times when you're taking the time out to edit a 3-minute video or a bunch of 6 hours, let's say 12 hours of footage into a 3-minute video, and then you only get 15 views and 2 likes. But meanwhile, you see somebody come out with a drama video and all of a sudden they go viral. Or, they're in the forest somewhere, they see a man swinging from a tree and that's a viral sensation. It can be discouraging. But at the same time, like I always tell people, whatever you do to get to that level of success, that stuff doesn't leave. It doesn't leave. Whatever, nonsense that you did, that stays with you, that karma, that energy you put out there into the world, that doesn't leave. So even if you may not get the level of success or attention that somebody else gets, at the end of the day, it is something to be said about being able to put out content and keep your moral ground or your dignity about yourself, and still get the numbers that you get and parlay on it and reintroduce your work or collaborate or, tap into somebody else's audience or have them and build your audience slowly. That's what I'm doing. I'm just building the audience slowly. It's a lot slower. It's a lot more of a mature grind than it is of somebody else out there who's trending and always popular. It's just everybody has their way of getting to the finish line or setting those goals and things that matter. You just have to figure out what that is for you. Big Dog Leather. There you go. Roof, roof, big dog. There you go. Appreciate you for coming by. Thank you for stopping by. But this is what I'm saying to you folks. We all get discouraged. Any one of us, you're lying. To me personally, I'll say this to you. If you've never been on YouTube and never been discouraged with the process and what's going on, I do not believe that you are human. You may be a robot, you may be an alien, because at some point from the high to the low, and I can show you videos of people getting discouraged, of people questioning the whole process. That's normal. That means you're a human being. That just means you're going through the highs and lows. You have to survive. Like for me, I'll tell you personally, a couple of weeks ago, I was wondering, hey, I don't know, should I keep live streaming? Should I keep going after this watch time? Should I be on it 2 or 3 times a day? I don't know who this is. Sorry about that. Okay, that was my cousin. Wow, I didn't even know my cousin was watching this. Anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. To my cousin, thank you for watching. I didn't know you was following me on YouTube, but I don't know. But anyway. But the point is that I'm saying is, don't quit on yourself. Whatever you're trying to do, be it a business, be it a project or something that you got going on. Like I said, I mean, people will call you crazy. People will tell you you're stupid. People will tell you it's not working. But at the end of the day, if you know why you're doing it, if you know why you're putting forth that effort and you don't give up on yourself, then you won already. I mean, you can't get caught up in the numbers. I had young timers, the youngins tell me, Mel, don't get caught up in the numbers. And it was hard. It was hard. Yeah, you just keep on going. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a numbers driven person, especially the analytics and stuff like that. When it comes to this, I'm constantly checking the numbers. Oh, what was the subscriber count today, and what was the view count yesterday, and what was it last month? Best stream today. Well, I just said besides that, but this is more about y'all. This is not about me. I mean, just relating experiences. I appreciate it though. Besides that, I mean, this is really something that I'm saying to y'all from the heart. I don't want y'all folks to give up on yourselves and give up on the work that you've already done. One of the reasons why I didn't leave and quit and stop when they changed the whole monetization thing. Thank you, CR. I appreciate that. The reason I didn't leave when they did the whole monetization thing, because I looked at my numbers and I said, hey, I'm at 62,000 minutes, 62,000 minutes, and they said you need what 240,000 minutes. And I said to myself, I said, let me crunch the numbers. How far am I away? I said, can I do this? Can I make it happen? How do I get there? Yeah. So then I just start going about it in a workmanlike way. I'm not trying to go after the viral video. If I get a viral video, then that's great. You know, cool. That's just what that is. But I started looking at it. I started saying my numbers. I need about 20,000 minutes a month, and eventually I'm gonna get there. You know, some months I'm up, some months I'm down. But that's just me. But then also too, I started looking at the watch time, the minutes, the views, and all that stuff. And I'm saying, look, it comes down to this. I get what I get, but I put myself in a position to at least have the opportunity to win and reach that goal. I don't know what's going to happen once I hit 240,000 minutes. I don't know what YouTube is going to do when I get to a certain level. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm looking at the things that I've learned along the way. I've learned to edit videos. I've learned to speak better on camera. I've learned to market my stuff. I learned to promote my stuff. I learned to package and put together certain things. I've learned about lighting. I've learned about, you know, just structuring a script. I've learned about, you know, set design and product stuff. Even though it seems like I'm just here and you see me at one side of the room and another side of the room and I'm there because I work with what I got. But I have some stuff in the cut. You know, and, you know, there's also production and money and paying bills and all that other stuff that you want to make sure is together before you start investing a whole bunch of money into, you know, YouTube or into putting stuff that you're doing and not really getting paid for. But the benefits paying dividends by the ability to be able to create content. People forget about this thing. Being here on YouTube, if you push it, if you go, you will become a better content creator, which means something. You will become a better producer, an executive producer, a director, a writer, a better talent, you know, a better cook, you know, a better person. If you allow the development process to go, you know. Thank you, Vlog from the Bog. I appreciate you because I know it's late, you know. Thank you for being here. You know, thank you for returning the favor. It was an awesome live stream earlier in the UK when you were doing it with Eagle VP, Mrs. P, you know, Gail, you know, all those folks out there, Beauty on a Budget. I appreciate you. You know, thank you. Much love to you. Appreciate that from my international audience and even the ones that are still here. And that's something else too that people don't understand. I started off, it was just a couple of friends and family in the beginning. It was just a couple of friends and family. This is no BS. And now I go to a situation to where I may not have the largest audience, but I have a diverse audience. You know, I have, you know, international audience. I'm internationally known, and I'm not bragging. I'm not making it up. That's fact. I have people who are talking to me from Egypt, from India, you know, from China, you know, from Australia, from Canada. Like I said, I've never been to any of these places, you know, just through here. But it creates a lane. It creates an ability to market. It creates a situation where you reach out there and, you know, you have an ability to influence people and they influence you back, you know, and you learn from that. And I've learned from that regardless of what happens. My account could be deleted. I could get hacked. Anything can happen to me now. But guess what? Those skills, the things that I've learned in my mind, those things that I've learned with the editing and the marketing and the business side of it, they don't go away. That stuff is not just disappearing in my mind, you know, because of things that happen. YouTube can take the channel. YouTube can take the channel. It is what it is, you know. Yeah, there you go. Besides that, YouTube can take the channel. It can get deleted, but let it be because they took it from you. Don't just walk away because you got discouraged, and that's what this is about. Don't just walk away and quit because you got discouraged. If you get discouraged, that's fine. Take a break, recalibrate, pray, meditate, take a drink. You know, I don't encourage you to get drunk, but, you know, do what you need to do, you know, sensibly, of course, and then come back and revisit this. And if you come back and you revisit and you see that this is not worth your time, or this is not what you're passionate about anymore, or this is something that just don't work for you, then by all means, keep it moving. But if you still feel like you got something to say, if you still have things that you want to learn, if you still have people that you want to connect with, you still have things that you want to do, you still got things that mean something to you, then you push it. Because I've had people who told me I was crazy. I've had people who told me I shouldn't have live streamed. But guess what? I went from 62,000 minutes to 127,000 minutes, to the point where if I keep going, I'll hit that mark. And I've learned how to speak more to an audience and organize myself to a live audience, which is something that you know, sometimes you're only going to learn it in places like this. You know, you can go Facebook Live, you can go Twitter Live, but it ain't the same as YouTube. It ain't the same as the Hangouts on air. You know, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. I mean, if it was, I would be there. If it was a better experience, I mean, Twitch is cool, you know, for what it does, you know, but it ain't this, you know, it ain't the ability to go from being live to putting videos together, from having private hangouts to going to, you know, creator events. And I'll say this like to you, a true story. I'm coming from work one day and I'm walking to the train station, right? And I see a YouTube event going on, a lot of opportunities that come with just even being online, not to knock any other social media platform or anything like that. Let me plug up my phone before my phone dies, because this happened to me too many times. Maybe I could get a little bit more juice out of here. I don't know, you know, but that's just what it is. And I try to stress to folks, you know, that this is something that you should look at, the opportunities that come, not just so much from the AdSense or being monetized, because you could be monetized. What does it mean to be monetized if you're constantly fighting and structuring and trying to get to a point where YouTube can pay you, when you could also get paid in many other ways? Because when you live stream, there's a part on it where they say if you have let's say what do you call it, sponsored content, you have to click that button. So there is ways to make money outside of the monetization part of it, you know, the assets revenue that YouTube gets you. Learning, experiences, confidences, oneself really makes the juice worth the squeeze. Yes, I agree with that, CR. You know, so it's worth the squeeze if you're willing to go through the experience, if you're willing to see what it is and look at the bigger picture. A lot of times people do not see the bigger picture, that it is a chance for people to be introduced to you. There are people who don't know who Mel Mel is and never seen me before, don't know how I think. There's people that need to experience you and see you and just, you know, interact with you on a regular basis. There are people who wouldn't deal with me before this. You know, why should we care about you? You know, why should we watch you? Why should it be anything? You know, we live and learn daily. Yes, Drive Shaft Rule, but that's what happens. These videos, in a lot of ways, are an opportunity for us to grow and change and introduce ourselves and be introduced to other people, other new ideas, so that if we do have a product, or if we do make money, or if it does become something, you've already gained that connection with people. You've already bridged that gap with people. It's just like you could have a product or service or something that you're trying to sell, and then you come to the market and people don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't understand your psychology or your philosophy on life or on business. Why should they mess with you? You know, so it comes to that point where there's an opportunity in this whole thing for you to be introduced, and you have people to get to see your growth gradually, how you've come along. Because anybody seen my original YouTube video, which I taken down smartly, it is totally different from who I am and what I am now. But even if you go to the first video that I have, it is totally different. The energy, the vibe, the confidence, the structuring, the articulation, the diction, the voice, the decibel in my voice is so much different. The confidence, all that is so much different than what it was in the beginning. And it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a growth. There's supposed to be an arc that we see. And when it comes to a point where people get to see that arc or take the journey with you, that means more when the success comes. That means more if you survive the times. That means more if you're willing to go through the ups and downs. You know, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that YouTube is fair. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say all these other social media places is fair. The reality is we give them so much free content. We give them so much, importance and relevance and all that other stuff, but we don't take that time to invest back into ourselves. A lot of times, take back time to invest back into yourself. Take time to learn from yourself, and the things that you do and the mistakes, where you did good, where you could do better, where you can expand, where it could go in a direction that you never even thought. And, that's just really where I'm at with it. And I encourage you folks, don't take this opportunity for granted. A lot of people have taken this opportunity for granted because they have not gotten the results that they expected, that they wanted to achieve. Of course, I haven't gotten all the results and things that I've wanted. There's been times when I'm saying, wow, maybe that video was a little bit better than YouTube could give me credit for. Maybe I could have gotten a little bit more promotion than what they gave me. Maybe I could have gotten a little bit more support from the audience. But you start to realize that it's not about that. It is about the journey. It is about that arc that you create. It is about what you will become when you get to the other side of that. When you accomplish different things, you'll find out a lot about yourself. You'll learn if you've actually reached a certain plateau, when you're on another level, when you leveled up, as the young kids would say, and you've become that person that you needed to be, from the start, the middle to the end, and this is something that can make or break you, because if you quit now, you never know who or what you could become as a content creator, as a person. You'll never know, how it was possible for you. Well, you probably wouldn't know how it was possible to influence people, but it just becomes a myth. It becomes something in the ether, in the ethos that never was, something that was never realized, so many dreams deferred, and the problem a lot of times with us as people, and I say all of us, humanity, is that a lot of times, we don't succeed because we give up a lot. We may get discouraged, and getting discouraged is normal, but succumbing to the discouragement, just giving into it and just saying that that's what it is and that's what it'll always be, it's a problem, because that's not always the reality of it all. The reality is that you don't have to give up. The reality is that you can succeed. The reality is that if you pace yourself and structure it and be realistic with yourself and modestly self-efface and evaluate yourself in a realistic way, you'll know whether or not you're doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You have to learn to look back. You have to learn to say, okay, I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of myself. I'll look back at my content. I'll look at where I've succeeded, where I failed. I'll get feedback from other people. I'll ask folks, could you tell me, what you thought of different things, or I'll look at other people and look at how they succeeded and look at ways to, incorporate different elements of that and make things my own, and it's just so much to it. And I see too many people not becoming a student of the process, not understanding that, the money, while it's important, isn't the only thing. For some people, it is the only thing. It is everything. And I'm not knocking you for that. But at the same time, even if you're going to go at it like that and say it's about the money, I want to be YouTube famous, I want the brass ring, I want the gold, the silver, the ruby play button, which by all means, go get yours. But know that between zero subscribers and that ruby play button and millions of people shouting your name and trolling you and vice versa, there was some work that has to be put in. There's some things that has to be done. Regardless of how you get there, you had to put in some work. And a lot of us want things, but we don't take the time out to understand and envelop ourselves in that work. We may see it and get overwhelmed and to turn away and then get mad at the process or the system. The system is not always fair. It's like the old timers told me, favoritism ain't fair. It ain't fair. Even on here, people get favored. Things happen. But if you're willing to work for it, to push for it, to grab for that brass ring, to say that I belong here, that it's important for me to be here, that I have a place here, that I have something to say, that I have a voice, then you will succeed. But it requires sacrifice, it requires time, it requires effort, it requires an evaluation of your own sanity. At times it does require all these different things from you, but this is an opportunity like nothing like existed before. There's some of us that if we would have had this when we were 15 and 16 or 5 and 6, who knows who we would be right now, and I look at some of these youngsters nowadays and I say, hey, you should be on here too. You should be doing your thing and structuring this and trying to figure out how you could set up a corporation and all that too. Hell, if I would have had this at 16 and 17, who knows? who knows who I would be? Who knows where I would go with it? But that's just one of those things. And it's crazy though. It's crazy because you know we get discouraged in a lot of ways because by people who haven't been there, by people who don't have the fortitude or the courage to push themselves forward. And like I said, if you don't have the strength or the will to go forward, that's your business. I'm not knocking you. It's what it is for you. Hindsight is a great thing. And there was Vinny G. I appreciate you, Vinny G, for being here. I appreciate everybody for being here. But this is the thing that I'm just saying to different folks. Don't quit before understanding the opportunities that exist on this platform. Because I get so mad, I get so pissed off sometimes when I see great channels and they're small and they only have a couple of hundred views, but they have a great channel. They have great presence. They have stamina. They have passion. They have the look. They have the drive. They have the words. They have the motion. But then they walk away because things are not moving as fast as they would. Believe me, I would love to be one of those live streams where I got 2,000 or 3,000 people on the live stream and I got big checks coming in. You might see a black man cry on this live stream. You might see me pop open a bottle of liquor and just take one or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, the reality is that it takes time. And anybody that's owned a business, anybody that's done things in life, anybody that's worked a job, anybody that's went through trials and tribulations, anybody out there that's raised kids, anybody out there that has been to any type of struggle or anything, it's almost like the Frederick Douglass things, without struggle, there is no progress. We have to struggle with things. We have to go through things. You have to experience the lows as well as the highs. If you don't appreciate the 2 or 3 people in your chat or the 1 person in your chat, then how can you appreciate the 11? How can you appreciate the 28? How can you appreciate 1,000? If I can't appreciate, progress, not perfection. I agree with you. If I can't appreciate having 1 person and speaking to 1 person in the chat, and I've done that. I've been on the live streams where I've been talking to myself for 5 minutes and I'm talking to 1 or 2 people in the chat and we're just going back and forth and having a conversation, and I'm grateful and I'm appreciative because I know that it's a struggle, it's a process, it's things that you have to be willing to put in the work for. And this is not just about YouTube, this is about life. You have to be willing to go through some things and experience some things in life. You have to be willing to be laughed at, to be ridiculed, to be mocked, to be beguiled, to be disrespected. Not saying that you should agree with it, but you have to be willing to face these things and overcome these obstacles in order to get where you need to be. And this is not said enough. And that's what pisses me off. It's not said enough. It's not said enough. And then when people don't get success, it's crazy. Support from others always means a lot. Yes, it does. Support from others always means a lot, but sometimes the best support, the most important support is the support that we give to ourselves. Sometimes we have to be our own cheerleaders. We have to be our own best friends. Sometimes we have to be our own worst critics. Sometimes we have to be willing to try to pull ourselves up. Not to say we do it all. It's not all done by yourself, but you have to believe in what you're doing, because if you don't believe in what you're doing, people will see it. If I don't believe in what I'm saying, people will see it. They will expose me. I don't care how many times people come to this channel and tell me I'm great or I'm smart or I'm wise or I'm intellectual. Screw all that. If Mel don't believe in what he's saying, if I don't present myself in the proper way, in the truest form, in a realistic way, I will get exposed. I don't care how many people watch. I don't care what I say to you. I don't care if I start throwing money at the screen and saying this is for you and that's for you and this shit shipped anywhere. No. If I don't believe in what I'm saying, if I don't have confidence in what I'm doing, if I don't put forth my best effort, then people are not going to mess with me. People will troll me. They'll take me down. I can easily be taken down. Who am I? Just another black man on here. Just another YouTuber. A throwaway, a toss away. How many YouTubers are on here? What is it? 1.5 billion, almost 2 billion people on here. What's another black man? Whatever. What I'm saying. But if you want to be remembered, if you want to be somebody that has a voice, an impact in any way, you believe in what you're doing. Have faith. Have the passion, be willing to go through it, be willing to look crazy, be willing to put yourself out there, not without, a calculation to it, calculated risk. This is a risk. This is a calculated risk. doing all these live streams. I can get in trouble with my employer. I can get in trouble with my family, with my community. It is a calculated risk. Oh, what am I doing? This ring, I gotta go. Nah. Take care, Drive Shaft Drew. I appreciate you. I've been on here quite a little bit, but I just was passionate about this thing, and this is something that I wanted to ring into people. But Drive Shaft Drew, I already know you're one of those people that's gonna keep going, keep plugging away. I just hope that this resonates with those folks that are discouraged, those folks that are really going through stuff, those folks that are really wondering and contemplating, should I stay on YouTube? Is this worthwhile? You don't know the half of it. Yeah, there you go, Pioneer. I mean, like I said, it's worth it to be here. I'm telling you, it's worth it to be here. Take care, keep the good work. Yeah, thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Sorry if I didn't acknowledge you enough, but this is for those folks that are discouraged. Don't quit, man. Don't quit. Don't quit, woman. Don't quit, person. Don't quit, creator. Don't quit, community. Don't quit, group. Don't quit, YouTube. Don't give up on yourself. All right, Drive Shaft Drew, I appreciate you for being here, man. Thank you for, stopping by, your comments, your support. Greatly appreciated, sir. Greatly appreciated. No, it's not so much it's about preaching the message. It's just really about saying, look, in a realistic way, your voice matters. What you have to offer is important. It is important that, if you have something to say, to speak your piece, to take your journey on here to its conclusion. I mean, as crazy as it sounds to some people, like I said, it's about trusting in the process, knowing that, what may not look like anything to somebody else, maybe a diamond in the rough to you, maybe something that, is a treasure, is a hidden treasure buried deep within your heart or buried deep within your content that people don't see. It's about understanding and finding your voice. Find your voice, find your niche, find your mark. Listen, the reality is most of us, many of us here are not going to get paid. A lot of us may put out hundreds of videos, thousands of videos, may spend thousands of hours a year, and some of us may get paid pennies on the dollar. Is it right? No, it's not right. Should it happen that way? No, it shouldn't happen that way. But what is the takeaway? What have you learned? What have you grown from? Did you make anything better, by being in the space and doing what you did? Like I said, I may never get a dime off of any of this stuff from YouTube, and they know it. I may get money and I may not get paid what I should have gotten paid. But what happens is that the money will, like the quote of rapper Jadakiss, the money will never equal to the love. The money won't equal to the love. If YouTube cut me a check for $1 million, which I'm not saying I wouldn't take, it will never equal to the love that I've gotten from people, in a genuine way, so to me that speaks volumes. It won't replace the experience of being on a live stream and speaking to people from 5 different continents and then walking away with people telling you from ages of 13 to 65 that they're influenced by your content. Sometimes you look back and say, wow, that's real. That's real. You got people who are white, black, Asian, Russian, Indian, whatever, saying, yo, Mel, that hit me, that you said something that was real to me. You said something that was impactful. Somebody saying, asking relationship advice from you and stuff like that. Trolls that came to troll you talking about, yo, we like you, you good, it's just, it's just crazy, people hating on you, but then at the same time, they come to hate on you and they're like, you know what, you all right. And then even people hating on you because you got an impact, so it's just crazy. The opportunities are there, but you have to be willing to connect the dots. You have to be willing to be open-minded and see, where the treasure is, where the light is, where the value lies, it's there. It's there. But a lot of us see what's on the surface. We judge the book by its cover. We look at it and say, you know what, it doesn't look like it's going to be a bestseller. And then you throw it down and then you look around and look up, a year from now, it's sold over 1 million copies. And you say, how did that happen? Over time, anything changes. Look at the book Moby Dick. Was it Herman Melville or somebody like that wrote Moby Dick? For what is it? For almost centuries, the book was no good, and then things change and it becomes a bestseller. We know it like a old classic, an epic, novel or whatever. You never know how your work, how your content that you put out there is going to impact the world. It may not be for that moment. You may be ahead of your time. You may be somebody whose ship has not sailed yet, but for whoever it's for, it will come. Sometimes, like I said, it's just about surviving that odyssey, meeting that journey, getting to that point, reaching that plateau, being willing to go through and roll with the punches. And a lot of people don't want to do it. I'm one of those people sometimes who don't. You know, it's like saying, do you really want to go through this? You ask yourself the question, you know, do I really want to experience that? Do I really want to put myself in that vein? You know, do I really want to make myself look crazy? Do I really want to be criticized again? Do I really want to be told I'm wasting my time again? You know what I'm saying? While people will meanwhile turn around and copy you and do the same thing and steal your ideas. Do I really want to go through that? Do I really want to learn the business structure of it? And it challenges you. It tells you who you are. You know, like I said, and this is not just about YouTube. This is about life as well. These situations challenge you. You know, like, you know, if you are who you say you are, you know, like I said, are you really who you say you are? Do you really want what it is that you want? Because people don't realize the real challenge is not getting there to that point. The real challenge sometimes is getting there, getting what it is that you said that you were asking for and you fought for, and doing what you said you was going to do once you got it. Because there's people out there who say, I want to be a YouTube superstar. I want to be rich. I want to be known. I want to be famous. I want to be influential. I want to have an impact. All that stuff. Let's say it happened tonight, tomorrow, right now, yesterday. Will you sustain the course? Who will you be in that moment? Will you do what you said you would do once all of that stuff happens? And sometimes this journey is about becoming who you need to do. So when that stuff comes, that it's no question. This is who you are. This is who you've always been. This is who you became in the process. This is the stuff that needed to happen, and you were there with it and you pushed it. You know, and you know, it can't be said by that, you know, about that, because you know, like I said, it's just something that's so necessary. You know, it's like, you know, the diamond in the rough, you know, you mold it through a refiner's fire, you know what I'm saying? You forge, you know, into that you know, to that sword, or to that, you know, strong, you know, unbreakable piece, that shield, you know, whatever that case may be, you know, whatever it is, that instruments that you need to be in that moment to be effective, to cut through the nonsense, to strike where you need to strike. It's like they say, you know, you strike while the iron is hot. But people forget that you got to take the plug first and put it in there to electricity, and then bring the iron on there once it get hot. You know, the iron is not immediately hot, you know, when you pick it up. You know what I'm saying? The iron has to be plugged in, you know, to a power source. The iron has to first be set. The iron has to then get hot. And then when the iron is hot, it strikes and does what it's supposed to do, you know? You truly inspire us all to keep going, keep fighting, and moving forward. Well, see, listen, you inspire me as well. You folks that are here that are just taking the time to listen, and this is for you. This is for really for you to understand, and this is something for everybody. Even the folks that, you know, can't watch me for some reason, or you know, don't want to hear what I have to say on a regular basis. I'm speaking to you as well. I'm speaking to everybody that's ever been discouraged, or you know, been, you know, just down about their content. I'm speaking to everybody on this platform, on another platform, wherever you may be. Anybody that's trying to accomplish anything, anywhere, for any reason, you know, for good reasons, of course. But the point is that these things take time. You have to work. You have to beat onto your craft. You have to learn from your mistakes. You have to fall flat a couple of times. They say it's written, you know, a righteous man fall down 7 times and get up 8. That's about perseverance, determination, you know, getting through the struggle, understanding that, you know what, you know, trial and tribulations, you know, it helps us. You know, it gives us patience. You know, it gives us that ability to go through situations that we may not want to deal with. You know, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy sometimes when you're putting in all that work and you feel like you should reach a certain level of success and it doesn't happen. It's important to understand that there's obstacles. We live in a world full of opposites. We live in a world where you're trying to do your thing and there's somebody fighting just as hard to stop it. And that's one of the things that happens with this too. People get on these platforms and these things like that. What's up, Bullet Train? People get on these things and these platforms sometimes, and they fail to realize that, hey, you know what? Just as hard as you're working to make these watch time minutes and have influential content and put yourself in a vein where you could probably help yourself, your family, your friends, and your community, there's people on the opposite side. Maybe they work for YouTube, or maybe they're just another creator, or maybe there's somebody on another platform or somebody that don't like you that's fighting just as hard to stop it, you know? Right now I need it. Okay, definitely, Bullet Train. You can holler at me in the chats or whatever the case. You in the hangout section, secret.dreamer.believer.com if you want at gmail.com if you want to hook up about that. But definitely prayers to you and whatnot, whatever you may be going through, But for the most part, man, there's a process to this. There's a fight. There's a struggle. This doesn't come without that. And we live in a world where some people don't want to go through that. They don't want to face the obstacles. They don't want to understand that there's opposition to the things that we're trying to do. And I mean this. There are people who do not want me to be on this live stream telling you this right now. There are people who would rather me be doing 10 other thousand things, 10,000 other things right now. There are people who could care less about this. There are people who are saying, you know what, you fool for trying to tell those people anything, and that's them. Thank you for sharing this. Oh, I had to go but enjoy the stream this much. Thank you. Appreciate it. See y'all. And I know I probably talked on a little bit too much. I didn't expect to go an hour and 10 minutes, but I think that's my cue. CR is leaving, so I think that's my cue to get out of here. But I think you get my point. My point is, don't quit YouTube. Understand that your voice matters. Understand that your presence on here matters. Understand that, there's a process to this. There's options to weigh. There's things that you need to learn. And if you learned all those things and you already at that point, disregard this live stream. Don't listen to this message. But if you feel like you have more to learn, you have more to do, thank you, Pioneer, then you know what? Don't quit. Don't walk away from your channel. I've been there too. I've had times where I said, why am I on YouTube? I've told people a couple of times I was supposed to be quitting my channel and deleting my channel 4 or 5 different times. But I'm still here because I still found value. I still see how it was impacting people. It led me to this point, and who knows where it will lead me if I learn everything that I need to learn. One day, am I going to be on YouTube? Am I going to leave YouTube? Yes. Will this be a thing of the past? Will this be a distant memory? Yes, it will. But until then, it's so much more to learn, so much more to see. So I tell those folks out there that are discouraged, that are going through things, don't quit your YouTube channel. There's more work to do. There's more content to create. There's more people to inspire. There's more people to make laugh, to teach, to make think, even to piss off. Anyway, take care. Spread love. As always, it's the Brooklyn way.